All right. Well, Ned, Merrick from Winterstick Snowboards, I am probably more excited than I've ever been on this show to have a legendary snowboard company on and sort of a revitalization of the legendary snowboard company. Ned, how are you doing this morning?
Dude, I am doing fantastic. I'm really psyched to be out here. I'm from Maine, so I'm psyched to be out on the big mountains and the Rockies. It's awesome.
All your friends are kind of turning into icicles out there. You're getting away from that vortex.
It is freezing cold at home. My wife and kid it's like 1 degree at home right now, I think. It's freezing. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming out to Colorado for the OR show. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Vail and showing off this incredible snowboard. And Winterstick has always been known for having the most unique shapes, always has that giant swallowtail at the bottom, but your revitalization is sort of bringing new life into the brands.
Yeah, so we're still doing the swallowtail, which has been like one of Dimitri's like original powder boards. It just, a foot or more of powder on a low angle just slays it all day long. But we've also now got Seth Westcott, which is one of our owners and lead shapers. Right. So we're doing more all-mountain boards, and we're also even making custom race boards. We'll be out at Copper at the end of beginning of April, excuse me. And we've got Rob Kingwell as one of our pro riders, also doing a lot of boards at Rip and Jackson Hole. And Tom Burt, the legendary big all-mountain rider, is still doing shapes for us. So it's really fun.
Yeah, you're like some of the original hard hitters of the industry back in Winterstick now.
Yeah, man. Dimitri started it all off in 1972, doing all his shapes and designing everything. So we've now taken basically our factory, instead of having other people make our boards, we're now hand making each one of our boards in Maine at our factory at Sugarloaf.
And this is a really unique construction to this board. So it's something that I don't know if I've ever heard goes into a snowboard before. I could be wrong, but the sidewalls are really unique.
So very unique. We use wood sidewalls. We wanted to cut down. I mean, we say making snowboards isn't inherently environmentally friendly, but we do it as absolutely best we can. And so we do the wood sidewalls for 2 reasons. One is actually they're allow us to have a much stiffer board for a weight to ratio. And if you look at a piece of wood, most sidewalls are made out of plastic, and they're noodly. They kind of flap around, but the wood is going to continue and keep its shape. So you're going to have much less chatter on this board as you ride it down the hill. Plus we use a wood top sheet, which also stiffens up the board a bit. So we're able to make the core a little bit lighter. The whole board and everything is much lighter for a stiffness ratio.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you also use super sap epoxy in here. So that's a renewable epoxy.
Yeah, most epoxy is petroleum-based, but Super Sap is actually plant-based epoxy, and it worked. We've tested it for many years, and it's just as strong. It does a fantastic job, and we're trying to do our part to save the planet.
Well, we all want winter to stick around.
We
Otherwise,
all want
we don't get to ride Wintersticks.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. We're doing our part big time.
So run me through the bend of this board as well. Is this predominantly camber to rocker, or what is this bend?
All our boards are full camber with an early rise. We're traditional in that sense because most of our boards are really powder-centric or all-mountain riding. We don't do a lot of free-ride boards and park boards. We may down the road, but we're kind of just sticking to our roots. Yeah. But this board this is the party wave. It carves like a dream on the mountain all day long, and then it's got a split fin on it and a high-volume nose. So once you get off into the powder, it's fantastic. No more leaning way back and hoping you're not gonna get stuck. This beauty just rips all day long.
Well, and here in Colorado, we typically think of an all-mountain board as something that has to have rocker. But what I love about what you're doing with Winterstick and some East Coast companies is bringing predominant camber back, but utilizing board shape to create a powder-centric shape, but still a groomer-centric overall bend. It's science.
It's awesome. We love it. Our engineers in the shop, we just love testing boards. I didn't know if I mentioned, we have a chairlift that actually goes out the back end of our factory, the only one we know of in the world. So we can build a board, go out and test it, be like, all right, let's tweak it a little bit here, a little bit there. And one of the other things we do is all our boards, we do a lot of custom boards. So if you came to me and said, I've been riding this board, I really want to tweak this a little bit, or I want a pear-shaped board, I just want to do something totally off the wall, we have the capabilities to do that, and we do predominantly custom boards. We have a line of our shapes that have been tried and true from Westcott and Kinger and Tom Burt and our engineers, but we can do custom.
Man, I could go all day with you, Ned. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure.
Check out Winterstick, everybody. These boards are absolutely incredible and great for the environment. And stick around. We've got more Good Morning Vail coming up next.